to represent Senator McCain's views on economic policy, former presidential candidate and McCain supporter, as I said, Governor MITT Romney. Governor Romney is also, as you can tell, in Nashville, Tennessee. Governor, good to have you with us.
Thanks, Lou. Good to be with you.
I'm going to ask the same question I did of Claire McCaskill, because I really, to my bones, believe it's the absolute essential issue. Will, in your judgment, it be necessary for both of these candidates to say directly to the American people and honestly that given the fact that we have seen $4 trillion ripped out of these markets, $2 trillion lost in pensions, 401ks here in short order, and with all that is happening in this distressed economy, that they're not going to be able to deliver on the tax cuts that they've enunciated. They're not going to be able to deliver on the entitlement proposals that they've made.
Well, I think what they have to lay out is what Barack Obama was unwilling to do in the last debate. When Jim Lehrer asked him twice what things he would cut back, he was unable to name a single thing he would cut back. John McCain has said, first of all, he will consider freezing all discretionary non-military accounts, all of them. You can think about what an enormous impact that would have. He's also indicated he'd like to reform our entitlement program, and I've spent some time looking at entitlements. I believe we can save a lot of money there. With regards to taxes, if the economy is in trouble, what you'd like to do is to reduce taxes. That's typically the way to stimulate the economy. I think they'll both be talking about holding taxes down or cutting taxes. But, you know, unless we're going to rein in excessive federal spending, holding down taxes would mean unacceptable deficits. And so Barack Obama, if he wants a tax cut, is going to have to talk about cutting down on the government expenditures, and he's just not been willing to do that so far.
Which entitlements then, Governor, would Senator McCain be willing to constrain?
Well, I can't give you the specifics in his case, but I can tell you that where the options are these. One is in Medicaid, to dramatically reduce the growth in Medicaid by giving the states the free rein to take their Medicaid dollars and spend it in a way that they can help their own poor in the way they'd like to. Secondly, with regards to Social Security, you got four major levers there, but certainly slowing the rate of inflation of the initial benefit calculation on Social Security for higher income individuals is an idea that has been put out there that makes a lot of sense in my view. And on Social Security, we're not going to, excuse me, on Medicare, that's the big, monster there. We're going to have to reform our health care system. John McCain has laid out a plan to get more people health insurance and to rein in the excessive growth in health care. So he'll do it.
He will do it, but at the same time, a lot of discussion of tax cuts. This is also a senator who said he's going to be the biggest free trader in this country. And when we look at what these free trade so-called policies have brought, it's been devastation for our middle class. Corporate America has put our working men and women in this country into direct competition with the cheapest labor in the world, while corporate America, bereft of an idea or the capacity for innovation, apparently, in terms of its financial markets, looks to the United States government for at least $1 trillion in direct intervention from the federal government. I mean, is it about time for Senator McCain or anyone else to start saying it's time to change these idiotic policies that for 32 consecutive years have created trade deficits and devastated middle-class American workers?
Lou, I couldn't disagree with you more.
I didn't think that you were going to jump right on the bandwagon.
Exactly right. Anytime someone says, you know what, we can't compete globally, and we have to.
I didn't say we. Whoa, Governor. Now wait, you can yell at me, you can cuss at me, but don't suggest that that's what I said, because the American worker has improved productivity, as you know, by over 70% over the course of the past 30 years, and his and her wages have remained stagnant. This is not about the United States not competing internationally. What this is about corporate America not giving away our knowledge base and surrendering our middle class to foreign labor because it's cheaper.
Hey, Lou, let's talk about what that means. If the point is that you say we shouldn't be able to trade on a free basis, meaning we want to charge a tariff for foreign goods coming in. Excuse me then, free trade means trading between nations without a tariff. That's all it means. So if you say that you're concerned about free trade, presumably you want some kind of trade protection or tariff or barriers. Am I misunderstanding you?
Oh, no, Governor. What you're misunderstanding is the issue of comparative advantage. In the case of China, where we're practicing free trade, of course, the tariff barriers are a ratio of just about 3 to 1. In the case of automobiles, as between the United States and China. We can go through a host. We also have, as you know, David Ricardo suggested, for example, that we have equal levels of unemployment in comparative advantage between two trading countries, whereas China has about 300 million people either unemployed or underemployed, and our middle class, of course, is being put into direct competition with them. That's neither fair nor is it free, certainly not in its impact, is it?
Well, I'll go back to the original point, which is if you believe that we should erect some kind of trading barrier so that we don't trade with China, that's a valid position. It's just not one that I think works long term for our country, because I believe, as you pointed out at the very beginning, that by virtue of the productivity growth we've had in this country, we can compete with China and we can compete with other nations as long as the trade is fair. Some nations don't treat us fairly. John McCain's going to make sure. John McCain's going to make sure that we do get those nations to treat us fairly, and that we play at a level playing field, and we can win, and America will win.
Governor, I hope you'll come back when we can further this discussion, and it would be a delight. We wish you well. Thank you very much, Governor.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you.